What's going on, guys? I know Blade Show was this past weekend, and it looked like a lot of fun. I'm super jealous of everybody who got to go. There's a lot of really sick ballies I saw come out, and big congratulations to Corbin Lovins because he won the bally flipping contest, and that's really cool. So I'll tag his Instagram down below because he's a much better flipper than I am. But today we are going to look at my D.larson long clip Bowie. Now this is one of my very favorite, if not my very favorite bally in my whole collection, both aesthetically and for the way it flips. Now, D.larson is 29 years old. He's been making ballies for about 6 years, and I'm sure happy he does because his work is some of my absolute favorite. And there's only like one or two other makers that I can think of that do this high level quality type of handmade work, and I'll highlight one of those later on in this video. Now, if you remember a while back, we took a look at another bally from Dustin, the XL that I have. And usually all the ballies that come from him are typically one-off custom pieces, and to get one from him new, depending on materials and whatnot, will run you about $700. Now, for the two I have, and I have a spot on his upcoming list, but I've never actually gotten a bally new from D.larson yet. Both of the ones I have, I kind of got lucky and had the opportunity with a couple trade deals, and I just couldn't help myself. I mean, he's one of my favorite makers, and they ended up being two of my absolute favorite ballies. But this bad boy weighs in at 4.75 ounces. It is 10 3/8 inches overall, 5.5 inch handles, and a 4 7/8 inch blade. Full-length latchless titanium spacers, CPM 20 CV blade steel, tank pins, bushing driven, sandwich style, and I will note that the bushings are tuned to absolute perfection. And that's just one more reason that he's one of my favorite makers, because he has an equal prioritization between form and function, and his ballies flip and function just as good as they look. Now this is quite possibly one of the best looking and most stunning ballies I've ever seen. Between the satin blade, the raw tie satin handles, the regular hole pattern, it's got a gorgeous blade grind and profile. It's just got a simple elegance to it that to me just makes it perfect. It doesn't even need anything extra, it's flawless just the way it is. And one of my favorite things about this bally, and a design aspect that often gets overlooked, is the tang profile. Now, even just in general, to me, the tang profile is a big deal just regarding how a bally looks. And another thing I really like about this bally is the way he rounds and polishes the ends of the tang pins. It's just a really cool design touch, the way it catches the light, and I also really like how he etches his name into the spine of the bally. It leaves the blade nice and sterile, showing off those perfect grinds. And I also really like the way you can still see his name etched into the spine when the bally is closed. Now, I know I'm not the first owner of this bally. I got it in a trade deal, and it went through a few different people's hands before getting to me, but when I did get it, the edge was completely jacked. I mean, there was just all kind of chips and dings and rolls. Luckily, the tip wasn't chipped at all, but one of the first things I did when I got this was just totally reprofile the edge. Also, there was just some like light general flipping wear on the handles, so I kind of buffed and polished the handles a little bit, and it brought the whole bally just right back to basically brand new. Now, as I mentioned earlier, this bally and all D.larson ballies flip and function just as good as they do look. The tang profile doesn't really pinch at all, and combined with the tang pins being crowned and polished, it's just really comfortable. The spine has a combination of a slight crown and chamfer, and you can actually feel his name etched into the spine during chaps. Not enough to be uncomfortable or in the way, but you can definitely feel that it's there. The handles have a perfect crown to them, and the whole pattern offers good grip while still retaining that simple, elegant style that makes this bally look as good as it does. The handles also have a good taper to them, and it's really comfortable to flip. It feels like the handles are giving your fingers 1,000 hugs while you're flipping it. The spacers, full length, latchless, they do have some pretty good weight to them. They are a little beefy, but the blade is also very long on this Bally, especially in comparison to the handles. And having that little bit of extra tip weight, it's just the perfect amount of compensation for the spacer weight, and it combines to give this Bally just a little bit of handle bias, and that's perfect for me. It's right where I like it. It has the perfect balance. Chaps are still sticky, rollovers and fans are consistent and predictable. It's just right where I like it. Another really cool thing that Dustin does is he cuts out the spacer profile to allow for the contour of the blade profile, but while still also having matching even spacer weight. So if you can see, there's a cutout there to allow for the tip of the blade, whereas it's just straight down on that side, but still having matching spacer weight. It's just really good, flips really good. Really enjoy this Bally. When you look at and handle Dustin's work, it becomes just immediately evident that there's not a single thing that goes overlooked. He pays equal attention to both form and function, and that's just one of the reasons why his work scores so high up on my list. That and everything being done manually, it's all handmade, not really any CNC work involved, it's just really impressive. And I mentioned earlier in the video, one other maker whose work is of that same caliber of high-level handmade quality is Jason Lyon. Now, a while back, I highlighted one of the V1 Hellcats. It was that JG10 one, and I was able to score one of the V2 Hellcats. And this is just another completely incredible Bally. You can definitely expect a review coming for this one because this probably isn't going anywhere, unlike that Fiore. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, drop a like, subscribe. I really do appreciate it. Otherwise, I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.